Hi everyone. I'm making this quick video just as an update on what's going on in Puerto Rico. So, as you may have heard, we've been hit by a couple of earthquakes. First was on the 6th, January 6th, around 6:30 a.m. We got hit by a 5.8 close to the center of where the earthquake happened. It was basically the south of Puerto Rico. A couple of homes collapsed. They did not withheld the shaking. In addition, others got damaged. Unfortunately, the day after, on the 7th, we had another earthquake, quite stronger. It hit us at 4:24 a.m. It was registered in some apps at 6.66. Other apps registered at 6.7. The news say it was at 6.4, but it was hard to the point where a lot of additional homes, churches, and buildings, schools did collapse. So basically, from the 28th of December, we've been having small shakes. Um, Approximately a couple days ago, they counted 1,000 plus. None were strong enough to where people were scared or received any damage from them until the 6th, where we had the 5.8. After that, we just been getting a lot of aftershocks. Right after the 6.4, we had a 5.8 again, and then we had a 6.0. I'm pulling this from a couple different apps. Some apps are registering different magnitudes, but at least for now, most of the people are all right. A lot of homes did have damage on them. They received cracks on their pillars and some walls. Uh, Basically, here in Puerto Rico, we build our homes with cement, not like in the States that are made out of steel and wood. So, as long as the cement doesn't crack, it will withhold. But if it cracks, it just tells us there's that weak point of the house where it might collapse. And from there, you have to take the necessary precautions. So, based on that, last night from the 7th to the 8th, most of Puerto Rico actually slept outside, or if they slept in their homes, even though um, so the people that did sleep in their homes knew that they didn't have any damage, structural damages, but they were still scared of receiving another hit. So basically, they slept inside their homes, closer to the doorways, with mats on the floor, prepared everything so they could sleep closer to an exit. For those people who did lose their homes or were in dangerous areas, moved to higher grounds. A lot of people went to open grounds where they were camping. They took their camping tents. A lot of people slept in their cars. A lot of families got together and slept in specific areas out in the open. They felt, we all feel it was safer. Now we all also have to have in consideration that not we only have to be on the lookout for structural failure points as our at our homes. But when we go out like that, we gotta be careful. We're not standing our power line, power poles, and all that kind of stuff that will collapse. So up to this point, the power authority said that the light went out when it received the when the sensors read. I heard this morning that they have a system where the sensors read some vibration, and once it hits that mark, it just shuts down the whole power plant. They do this for security reasons. They said initially it was going to only take about 6 hours after the shake to bring the whole island up again. Unfortunately, it's been about 32 hours approximately, and still we haven't received any power, at least for where I live. There has been points in the island that do have power. Other points in the island received power yesterday, but the main power plant failed. Other parts of the island, unfortunately, when they gave power to certain towns, there was a house that caught on fire. We still have houses that are half cement and half wood, so that might be one of the causes of the fires. Um, in regards of the experience, it was a very frightening experience. Um, you might be asking what could you compare that feeling with? What could be something close that you could describe it as? From my perspective, my experience, just something that you can explain because you might think it's one way, but you're actually feeling something different. It's a different pressure you feel different movement, but something that would I might say a little bit similar is when you get on a roller coaster, and it's not basically the ups and downs. It's basically when the roller coaster shifts to the sides and goes through the curves, and you feel that pressure that pushes you sideways, and you can control your body. You just move along with the movement, something like that. Obviously, the higher intensity the earthquake, the more pressure and push and pull you're gonna feel. Unfortunately, there has been, I think, one or two deaths directly related um, due to heart attacks when the earthquake occurred. In addition to that, I believe there has been two suicides. Um, People like to make other people scared. There's a lot of rumors going on in the internet. Um, some people believe them, some don't. But I heard somebody on the news talking that even though we had two good movements of well, two good shakes, that doesn't mean we don't we won't have another one equal or bigger, or it doesn't mean we will have another one equal or bigger than the one we already had. So there's this seismologist saying that basically the tectonic plates just shifted one on top of the other, and that's why we were feeling a lot of movement. We've been feeling after the shakes constant movement on the island. The only difference it's been like 4, 4.5, 3.7, 2.5. So they vary in intensity, but there has been a lot of movement. So basically, the guy was saying that once they're one on top of the other, that's what's causing the instability. Um, he expects, or it was said that when those tectonic plates try to align themselves back together to where they were initially, that might kick off a stronger earthquake. A lot of people were throwing numbers around saying that it might be a 8.0 or stronger. Now, we know that we cannot predict earthquakes. We know we cannot know when or where they're gonna hit. But when people start talking stuff like that, and it actually makes sense, people get real scared. People react in different ways. A lot of people do not know how to manage high tense situations. Um, and I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm just saying this for people to know what's going on and understand the situation we're living through. Currently, airports, the San Juan airport is packed end to end. Um, the same day of the earthquake of it was January 7th. So the earthquake hit us around 4:24 a.m. Power went out. You're trying to walk in the night, not knowing if something's gonna fall on you. You're shaking. You're being pushed around. So Luckily, where I'm living, I was staying with my parents. We were all able to hold to the walls, touch the walls, and since we have a small pathway, it was small enough where we could touch wall to wall and stabilize ourselves. But the main scare for me at that point was anything crumbling down. So once we were stable and it actually passed, we were walking, trying to light ourselves with our cell phones. Obviously, when you need something, something fails, right? So, cell phone didn't uh, locked up basically when I tried to turn on the flashlight. So I just tried to lit up the screen and try to see and move forward and get out to a place where um, we were safer. And if the house collapsed, we were already out. Luckily, we did not have any damage. A lot of houses did not have any damage because the pillars withstood the shake. But on the contrary, a lot of other houses did suffer some damages. Basically, basically because of how they were constructed. So, given that here in Puerto Rico we have a lot of hills, people tend to put like half of the house, the entrance of the house, on top of the hill, and however you extend it out of the hill, they use pillars. Those are the houses that have the most danger at this moment. So going back to the airport stuff, um, we were hit about 4:24 a.m. People, just like in the hurricane, try to get out of the island. Unfortunately, the cost when something like this happens, the cost of the tickets grow exponentially. I myself saw when the hurricane 2 years ago, 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. Um, a flight, a flight was costing $8,000 I think it was from San Juan to New York. Now, just in a couple hours, right after the quake, all prices went through the roof. Basically, a flight going from San Juan to Orlando was around $1,000 or more if you could find one. Now, just saw the news a couple minutes ago. Um, the airport is packed with people trying to get out. I understand a lot of people were here on vacation, and those are the ones that are trying to get out. But there's a lot of people on the island that also are trying to get out to family members in the states. Luckily, we did have communication up the whole time. That was thankfully to the cell phone services. Um, all landline communication was down basically because it uses electricity, but the cell phone services were up due to the antennas being ran on solar power and solar panels. So that was something that helped a lot. We were able to communicate with our relatives in and out of the island. In addition to that, we're still waiting for the power to come back. They said it was gonna be a couple hours. It's been almost a day and a half, like I mentioned earlier, and we're still waiting. There were a lot of failures in the system, um, a lot of mishaps, not a lot of protocols they're trying to go through as well. So given that the power went out, we don't have water as well. Luckily, uh, we had water saved, uh, drinking water. Um, we have some smaller tanks for the bathroom and stuff like that. Um, that's basically it. Everything is trying to run normal today on the 8th. Stores, banks, hospitals are reopened. Hospital was open the whole time. The only thing was that I saw one hospital in Mayagüez. They had to take everybody outside to the parking lot because that hospital is basically on the top of a mountain, and they understood at that moment that they weren't sure the hospital was going to withstand additional movement. So they took everybody out and put them in the parking lot. Today I saw a report saying that they did their inspections and that everything was normal again, that the hospital was okay, the structurally it was okay, so everything should be normal there too. But basically, last night it was pretty intense because giving the scare we had the previous night, most of the people did not sleep. Everybody is anxious, tired, exhausting, nervous because nobody knows if we're gonna get hit by another one or not. A lot of people, like I mentioned, slept outside, did camps. Um, that's basically all I have to say for now. Hopefully, we do not get another hit. Hopefully, this is stops for good. Um, we did get when the earthquake hit us, we were under a tsunami alert. Um, that as well didn't help. People started running to higher grounds. Everybody that lives on the beach or close to the beach, or any area that has been identified um, as being hit by a tsunami, they started going uphill to higher grounds. Luckily, about an hour and a half after the quake, it was canceled. But like I mentioned, we keep on getting shakes constantly. Everybody's nervous. Nobody knows when it's gonna hit. If we're gonna get another one or not. But at least for now, we're still hanging in there, trying to move forward, doing our best. Most of the people are all right. People are helping other people, and something I did note. If you ever have the chance of getting some uh, solar powered options, that may be like solar powered battery packs, or if you could use solar panels in your house or anything, it will be of great use. um, I have people close by that during and after the quake have power due to that, and they did not. They are the ones who are helping additional neighbors to keep medicine cool, like insulin and stuff like that. They have been of great help, and I thank them. Um, so for now, that's it. I'll keep you guys posted if anything else goes on. If not, I'll just make another video on a how to. I got a couple ideas. Let me know in the comments what you would like to see. Probably anything related to cars. Trying to start a farm as well. I do a little bit of welding. I got some ideas I'm working with. I might be giving you more details further down uh, timeline. So be safe. Tell everybody that everybody that has a relative here in Puerto Rico, take things um, with with ease. I mean, it's hard to know that you have relatives on the island going through a lot of stuff, but tell them to calm down. Um, Help is already on the way. I saw a lot of troops going to where the bigger damages are, and basically we gotta just keep calm and move on. So thank you for your time. God bless America. God bless Puerto Rico. Thank you all. Have a good one.